Hi guys, so the Prime Minister has potentially won a massive victory on the issue of immigration. Now he has a new one-in, one-out scheme that he has signed with the French President, something that the Conservatives could never achieve. Is this a real victory? And is this a practical solution to what's happening in the Channel? Now, I don't believe it's actually a practical solution, but from a political point of view, does it steal some of Nigel Farage's thunder? Well, have a listen to the man himself.
I don't think this so-called deal will make any difference at all. If we even try to deport people across the Channel, we will run straight into the European Convention on Human Rights, as written, into British law, in the Human Rights Act. The lawyers will have a field day and find lots of reasons why people can't be deported.
Are you sure?
I'm very certain of that. You know, whatever agreement happens at a summit, the fact is the law says that ECHR is higher than what the Prime Minister says. So I don't believe it'll work. I believe the numbers will be very limited indeed. And even if it did work, where's the advantage to us? This is Brexit Britain. We voted to take back control of our borders, not to accept a deal given to us by a French president.
Okay, so unfortunately, Nigel Farage is correct. I don't see this actually working because if it's running roughshod over existing conventions, United Nations conventions, it's not going to work. Because the idea behind it, and we have to wait for the details, is that it would result in an asylum seeker coming into the UK, being through a sort of safe route, being allowed to stay, and at the same time somebody returned to France who had no right to stay. But once again, as Nigel Farage has pointed out, well, if you have certain conventions in place, people can appeal that. Is the UK government going to uphold its side of the bargain when it comes to the French, or is it going to respect international law? So once again, we're going to have to wait for the details of this, and we're going to have to wait to see it tested in the courts. Now, of course, Nigel Farage doesn't have a solution. He would just say, well, just send everyone back. Obviously, that's not going to work either. You'd need to have the cooperation of the French. This is a guy who, metaphorically sticks two fingers up at the French on a daily basis. And the European Commission, of course, as well. So he doesn't want to work with Europe. He doesn't want to work with the French. So he doesn't have a solution. At least Keir Starmer is trying something. Now, I don't believe it's going to work because we're talking about very small numbers. And of course, it doesn't seem to have any real legal backing. If somebody arrives in the UK under UN conventions, they have the right to claim asylum in Britain. Under Keir Starmer and the French solution would be you deny people that and you'd send them to France. Also, what's to stop somebody from getting in a boat at another stage? The true solution, of course, is to create a safe route for people to get into the country. But nobody's talking about that apart from maybe Zoe Gardner and a few other people who actually understand the situation, who are not turning it into a political football. So Farage, is he being pandered to? Well, maybe not so much Farage, but his voters. And unfortunately for Nigel Farage, the politics of this is actually benefiting the government. People are responding to this in a positive way. They actually think, well, at least Keir Starmer's doing something. The Conservatives did nothing. They tried with Rwanda, but that was a disaster. So if Starmer is able to send a few people via this route, once again, I don't know if that's legally possible, but if he can, then he will score a pretty big victory. Of course, there will be people who will support Nigel Farage no matter what, but that must not be his Keir Starmer's target. His target is people on the centre right, people who are probably ex-Tory voters who are attracted to reform, but could be convinced to abandon Farage if they think that the UK government today is doing something about immigration or acting tough on immigration. But once again, we'll have to wait and see. But I'm not a fan of this scheme because I don't think it's going to work for the reasons that I mentioned before. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.